to go on the diagonal, neglecting Mahrez. It could cost them again. And with Andy King, who's got a goal and in from midfield, ghosting round the back, it was nearly 2-0.
Almost identical in terms of the player on the ball having time to pick his spot, and the Leicester lad getting ahead of his man. Again on that side. Again Oviedo. Been on the tiles, I think.
Always a problem with the 5:30 kickoff.
Yeah, it's a bit late.
Wake him up, please. Can't miss any of this. And here's Mahrez raining down. They're lining up. 2-0. Andy King shows that eye for goal. The King from the dressing room in the King Power Stadium. And the champions lead Everton 2-0.
Well, Riyad Mahrez has threatened to create something over the last 10-15 minutes in these kind of situations, given the opportunity to run at players. I mean, it is a fortunate break of the ball when Leighton Baines gets a foot in, but he is a cool finisher. Andy King, he's one of those that doesn't tend to get flustered, concentrates on the strike, and that is more than enough.
Well, he's a rare breed. He's a Wales international who's run the Premier League. Stones with the header. It was glanced goalwards by Lukaku, but Kasper Schmeichel wants another clean sheet here. He'll be under threat again with Nias. Vasilevsky. Ball that seemed to have a bit of an electric charge in it. It was difficult to master.
Yeah, well, Lukaku changed the direction of the ball, and he had to react really quickly, Schmeichel. Doesn't make too many mistakes, this lad. Very steady, very consistent.
Here comes Fuchs, chance for a third. Good stop by Joel Robles, spreading himself well. Again, Everton opened up here. Fuchs again. Mahrez. Flick by King. Simpson fizzes it in.
them. Lightning, so they could go third, ahead of Team Bath, just below Wasps if they win tonight. For Surrey Storm, it's about finishing in the top half of the table, Mickey Austin says. And that's how it looks right now. It's very, very tight. Only 9 points separate the top 5 teams. It's getting exciting, Ebony.
It is getting exciting. I think it's been the closest year in terms of teams this year. So it's great to be a part of it, and it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight.
Tell us what happened at the weekend. You were defeated by Wasps. You're on a great one. Bath winning 5 of the previous games. What happened in the game against Wasps?
I think Bath were a bit slow out the blocks, and I think Wasps came and they came to play. So I think the first quarter was kind of our undoing. I think we matched them in the second, third and the fourth. But in this league and how tight it is, you can't start slowly. So we'll go back to the drawing board and look forward to Loughborough on Friday.
Yeah, that start is so key, isn't it? Dan, let's talk about that Pulse Mavs game. What was the key to that Pulse victory?
An amazing result for London Pulse. They've been looking for a victory since the very first round of the competition, and what a way to shake up the competition by knocking off Mavericks. I think T. Keenan really found her starting lineup in that game, and she ran them for most of that 60 minutes, and it really did reap its rewards. And a huge upset, and it really has turned the competition on its head, there's no doubt. Yeah,
Mavs will be absolutely gutted being in the 5th spot at the moment. There is a little bit of a gap being created. Manchester Thunder, another victory for you over Celtic Dragons. You're getting a little bit boring winning.
Winning is fun. There is no such thing as boring when it's winning.
What's the feeling in the camp at the moment?
Yeah, look, really positive, and a lot of the girls are getting out on court, and it's a good time now to really make sure everyone's ready to go and fresh come the business end of the season. So things are in a good place.
Ebony, it's almost been a year since the Commonwealth Games, and you won that gold medal. I know time flies. Where is your gold medal, by the way?
It's at home in the box at the moment. I very much focus on the Super League, but every now and then I get it out again, have a little look, and yeah, smile to myself and put it away again.
Absolutely. I'm sure lots of texts and lots of phone calls at the moment saying, oh my goodness, it's been a year. Fantastic. I'm sure we'll be reminiscing a lot more about that. Let's talk about the away side and Surrey Storm. They've got a couple of star players who are also South African teammates. We caught up with them recently and mapped out their netballing journey so far.
This time for Africa.
I was born in Pretoria, starting to play netball at the age of...
Quickly listen, bro. No one in this country will understand what Pretoria is.
Pretoria?
Yeah, but, oh my gosh, I've got the best idea ever. Okay, let's show them where Pretoria is.
Now this is Pretoria.
I come literally from the southernmost tip of Africa. My mom was playing for the SA Top 10. Her successor, the person who went in as my mom went out, was Zareen van Dijk. I studied in Potchefstroom at the Northwest University. Yeah, I just went all the way across the country to Storkshire. The Varsity Cup competition, we won 2 years in a row. We beat them in the final. Yeah, with 1 goal, and they had most of the national team in it. Oh, wow. This is the UK map. Hertfordshire will be there. Kat, the head coach, she was like, if you want, you can come train with us for a month at the end of your year. The first training session I had with them, I was like, this is so incredible. It's such a different atmosphere. I really don't want to go home. She was like, Storm are still looking for 1 more shooter. There's Guildford. Tanya, she's like, I need you to come on a train right now. We need to sign you before 5 p.m. today because England Netball need the names for all the teams confirmed today. My mom and dad were in my brother's graduation ceremony, so I couldn't even phone them, and I'm like, I need to make a big adult decision. Mommy, daddy, I'm like 21. And I literally had to think to myself, okay, is this what I want? Is this not what I want? I was like, not a doubt, signed it, and the rest is history.
I really wanted to join the Super League this year. We spoke about it, and she's like, well, play for Storm. She's gonna give my number to Mickey and just give a good word in. And I don't know what you told Mickey.
She's being humble. Okay, so basically what happened was,
wow.
We had trials. She was by far the best goal defense at trials. I was like, she's gonna come over here. There's no ways I'm gonna be playing against her. I need her in my team. So I phoned Mickey, I'm like, Mick, we need Shadeen, that's the name to remember. Everyone wants to work hard. We push each other in training, the intensity is so high. It's just such a good vibe, it's literally a family. Here's London.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna look for something like Stratford.
The South African players know, the bench knows, they have have done it. They have beaten the Commonwealth champions.
It was good for South Africa to get a win, especially going to World Cup this year, knowing that we are capable to like compete against like the big names like England, Australia and New Zealand.
Sitting in the crowd, I've never been more proud to be South African. I was literally cheering them on so much. Yeah.
Our goal for World Cup is to get top 4.
The last time we got second was in '95 at the '95 World Cup, so South Africa's hungry. Go big or go home. Wow, I wish my geography teacher could see this. She'll be so proud.
We are going in for a win, like nothing less.
We don't underestimate their team at all, but I find we can pull it together strongly just because of how hard we've worked this week and how the mindset has been around the team.
Yeah,
so
if we just stick to game plan and what Mickey asked us to do, like we will pull it through.
It takes time, but we will get there, and like Storm's just gonna flourish.
This time for Africa.
Great to hear from two of Surrey Storm's star South African players, and they mentioned it, second in '95 in the Netball World Cup. Their captain is Bongi Msomi, and what a great job she's been doing at Wasps. Norma Plummer, a revelation for South Africa, and comes to the side with so much pedigree. Recent results in the quad series, of course, beating England by 3 goals. And Ebony, you played in the first half of that match. It was a tough one.
It was a tough
What did you
one.
see from them?
I think we were on such a high coming from New Zealand, and then coming into that match against South Africa. They've got some phenomenal players like Bongi. Lini's guys here in the back, who's been absolutely formidable for them. So again, they started really strongly and they built throughout the game, and unfortunately we fell short right at the
Yeah, to show us all what they're capable of. What is their style of play? What kind of style do they play with?
Well, at the moment, I think they play a little bit like Australia, to be honest. They're really fast and they run the ball hard and they're very tenacious in defence, which is obviously what Norma Plummer has really integrated into the way they play. But they also have a winner's mindset now, which is very new for the South Africans at this level. And, you know, Shadeen and Ziggy are both really key pivotal players in that squad to see what they can do at the World Cup.
Yeah, their group isn't an easy one. Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago and Fiji. What do you make of that group?
It's particularly tough.
Yeah.
I think World Netball at the moment is so exciting, and on any given day, anyone can beat anyone. So everyone's got to be on form when they turn up, especially in those pool rounds.
Who do you think will come out of that group?
Well, it's a tough one. You'd think maybe South Africa and Jamaica would definitely be the favourites, but again, so unpredictable across the board in all these nations. So it's a tough pool for them, but you'd expect them to get through to the business end for sure.
So we're expecting South Africa and Jamaica, but you never know, you never know. OK, let's hear from a lady who's very happy at the moment. She's speaking to Gail Davis. It's Sarah Bayman.
Sarah, it's 7 wins in a row for you. What do you feel the turning point's been in the last few weeks?
The Wasps game was obviously massive for us, and then I think backing it up with a win against Mavericks and, you know, hanging on against Stars as well. I think they're all very different kinds of wins, and it's good for that to have that confidence to know that we can win in different ways and beat all the teams that are coming at us at the minute.
We know how tight this top 4 is going to be. This weekend proved it again with some quite stunning results, didn't they? It is in your hands, though, so how do you go about seizing the opportunity tonight and over the next few weeks?
I think the Mavericks Pulse result's just a reminder to the girls that anything can happen, and you know, if you're not on your game on any given night, you lose in this league. So hopefully the motivation will be high tonight, and you know, we've always just taken it one game at a time, and it's a bit of a cliche, but there's nothing more we can do because we need to win week on week to keep ourselves in that top 4.
7 out of 10 is all you've given your team so far this season, despite that incredible run. You're a hard taskmaster, aren't you?
Maybe a little bit, but you know, last week we started really slowly, had a really good second half, so it's like if we start like that and then get even better this week, you know, we'll be up there. So we want to be peaking at the end of the season, and we're going the right way at the minute.
Go well tonight, thank you.
Let's show you the starting lineups with the home side first at Loughborough Lightning. And Ebony, which partnerships should we be looking out for there?
I definitely think you've obviously got Mary Cholhawk in the back, so she's going to be a target for them and a beacon for them in terms of scoring the goals. And I think the partnership between Hannah Joseph and Ella Clark is going to be key in terms of how they feed her tonight, and actually whether they can get around the defenders and actually be a target on goal.
This has been the same lineup for the last 8 weeks, and the visiting party, Surrey Storm. Yas Parsons, she's been on fine form, feeding Siggy Berger. That's been a great relationship, Dan.
Yeah, it absolutely has, and she's going to have to play a big role today, Yas Parsons, defensively, as will Shadis Shandamurva and also Katie Hughes. Those three are going to be critical to give a lot of defensive support to the goalkeeper at the back. So a big job for that Storm defence line for sure.
You played Surrey Storm last weekend, Ebony. What did you see from them?
They're really tough. I think they've been building and building, although they necessarily haven't got the results. So again, I think hopefully they can get the feed for Siggy Berger on point. They could be quite threatening today against Loughborough.
Mickey Austin's talking about this is a process at the moment, a process of 2 to 3 years building a team, Dan. Her aim is obviously to win the Super League, but is that the right mentality to look at it that way?
Well, I think it's always important to have an eye on the present, but also the future as well. And she's obviously looking to rebuild the franchise to get them really competitive once again. Should no doubt be happy with portions of the way the team has been operating. They're very competitive for 30 minutes. They just fall off the pace a little bit at the start of the second half. But if they can put together at least 50 minutes today, just go a few more steps further than they have previously, they're certainly capable of challenging Loughborough all the way to the very end.
Pretty intimidating environment here at Loughborough Lightning at the university. This is going to be a good one. Let's get straight to commentary. Ebony's off to join Catherine Merry.
Thank you very much, Di. Good evening, fellow netball fans. Welcome to Sir David Wallace Sports Hall, the final match in round 13 of the Vitality Netball Super League season. Surrey Storm, the bench just to my left, poised and ready to take on Loughborough Lightning. 9 wins out of 12 so far, as we've mentioned a couple of times, going for their 8th straight win this season. 3 times the Super League runners-up the last couple of seasons and back in 2008. Can Surrey Storm, though, under the guidance of Mickey Austin, stop Sarah Bayman and her coaching team, get another win and going back into the top 4? There's Nat Panagari on the left. Wing defence for Loughborough Lightning, player of the match in their round 12 win against Mavericks. So the ball has been brought on. Ian Fuller, Jackie Mizon and Gary Burgess in charge. Ian Fuller blows the whistle.
Oh, what a great start by Vicky Osola. Straight in with an interception.
Offside, free pass, in.
So the Surrey Storm bench close to us. I can hear Mickey Austin already, Ebony. Trust her, trust her, trust your teammates.
I think she was shouting that last week, especially from the sidelines, and I think they really build off her confidence and her input. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get off the mark and score that first goal.
So Berger under the post and the first point on the board for the away side. Surrey Storm, a lovely piece that prior to this match with the 2 South African stars in the Surrey Storm side. And Sarah Bayman, Ebony, has said, we ended well in that round 12 win against Mavericks. We need to work on the first 30 minutes. She'll want it fast, she'll want it strong, and she'll want the likes of Ella Clark to keep doing that.
She will indeed, she will indeed. And I think we've seen this season that the start of games is so important in terms of teams finding their flow, connecting with each other, getting the ball down nice and smoothly to the goal so the shooters are not under stress. So good start from Surrey, good start from Loughborough so far.
So 1 apiece, a reminder in round 7 at the home of Surrey Storm, a Loughborough Lightning win 66-50. We witnessed it on Sky, and now the reverse fixture, the final fixture of round 13.
Oh, great intercept there by Yas Parsons. And Surrey are on the attack again.
Oh, Golvin flies in the wing attack position to Parsons, the centre. Looking for space, Loughborough making it hard.
They are. You can see they're doing that zone defence, trying to protect the middle. But a great lob over by Hodge Parsons. He's going to go in. Great goal by Siggy Berger.
A confident settler for the South African, giving the away team a 2-goal lead. It's packed here again at the Sir David Wallace Sports Hall. But a little bit quiet at the moment from the home fans, looking for a response from their home side early doors.
They are indeed, but I think at the moment the Loughborough defence, they need to shut down Siggy Berger. They've seen that lofted ball go over their heads a number of times. Is that going to be their undoing?
Contact goalkeeper.
Cholhock, first attempt of the evening.
Great goal, great goal. Just such a strong target in the back there. A little unorthodox, a bit like Peace Prokofiev last year, but building into the game. It's quite interesting. You'll see Surrey at the moment playing the ball very, very short, working it to trying to get to circle edge, making sure that that feed right into Siggy Berger is going to get there.
So Loughborough centre pass. 3-goal deficit at the moment. Joseph always trying to feed it into Cholok. She's not happy with the position, puts it back out the circle, takes it back under the post.
Nice goal. That's so difficult to mark, especially, again, 6 foot. So in terms of going back up as a defender, you have to move nice and early to make that interception, otherwise you're sold.
At some point I'm going to ask you, Ebony Usora Brown, how you would defend Cholok, but at the moment we're early doors. Back down the other end for Surrey Storm. Hodge England, nice and high, rolls over the back, but kept in play and converted. Siggy Berger giving herself a round of applause.
And that partnership's been building over the last couple of weeks. It's great to see their level of understanding, the confidence they have in each other in terms of just turning to post, putting the ball up. If it goes in, fantastic. If it's not, they're cleaning up the rebounds. Another one on the board from Loughborough. Slowly building momentum.
Probably mentioned a few times on Sky Netball this season. 6'7", Mary Cholok, the Ugandan, in the Lightning side this year, replacing Peace Prokofiev, of course, who's gone down under to play for Sunshine Coast Lightning. But within seconds, the minimal amount of passes, Ebony, back down the other end, and a goal.
Indeed. Oh, there we go. Koweska, straight up. And like I said before, quick footwork, get backing up nice and early, picks up an interception. Can they now convert it is the question. Beautiful lofted ball into Siggy Berger there and finished off beautifully.
Cholok grits the teeth, couldn't get to that one. And once again, Storm flying out the blocks here, as Ebony said, leading 8-4, 10 minutes remaining in this first quarter of 15 minutes.
And I think that's what I asked from them. I think in terms of a good start, they should be able to build from this.
Replay, free pass. Oh, sorry, it's yours, it's yours. Nearly.
Gary Burgess gets the ball back in play. So Panagari to Joseph. Another high ball in.
Nearly Katie Hughes, nearly Katie Hughes. She tried.
First goalkeeper obstruction. Let's have you both out of play, which means...
I think what's been great, we just saw then, the two defenders from Surrey Storm drop back into the circle, and I think sometimes when you're playing a taller shooter, it's about confusing the space of the feeders, not necessarily winning the ball in the air from the goal shooter. So they're doing that really nicely at the moment, and again, we see, well up, Koweska in the back, straight into the attack for Surrey Storm.
So defence at the moment doing a good job on Cholok in the goal shooter position for Loughborough Lightning, Surrey Storm, in the blink of an eye.
I think their coach will be asking them to get off the sidelines, though. Centralise the ball nice and early to give themselves more options.
Berger.
And a big well done from Mickey Austin. It's interesting that at the moment, 9 shots to goal, 9 goals scored from Siggy Berger, 100%.
Hodge England, a high one over again to Berger. Can she make it 10 out of 10? The South African can.
She's on fire today.
So centre pass to Lightning, Clark.
Contact, windy fence outside.
Whistle blown, still in the possession of the home side. Ella Clark.
First shot of the game. Wonderful by Ella Clark. You'll need your goal attack to be worked into the game, give her a bit more confidence. If you can get both of them shooting, it'll be a lot harder for Surrey Storm defenders to contend with her. Another goal by Siggy Berger there.
Break, goal defence.
So
sloppy hands by Ella Clark there. She'll want to snatch that in the next time.
Yeah, she gives herself a little telling off. Storm leading 11 goals to 6. Fast and furious, as we'd expected.
Contact centre.
I think what Surrey Storm are doing here really, really well is shielding the ball against Loughborough. Loughborough haven't got their hands on too many intercepts at the moment, but that's because they're playing the ball nice and shortly, executing the pass, and taking their time in all their attacking moves.
So intercepts are low, but shots are high. Storm leading the way, 12-6.
Storm throwing.
Panagari absolutely everywhere as usual. But Parsons in the centre position for Storm. Oh, Oyesola nearly got to it.
Wow, stunning goal. Such confidence, she just let that go. It was wonderful.
Beautiful shot. Storm put another one on the board. Loughborough being forced back in the centre third here at the Sir David Wallace Sports Hall.
And you don't usually see that from Loughborough. I think they're using their wing defence and goal defence quite frequently in this first quarter. So it just shows in terms of they need to build confidence moving the ball forward. Let's see if that changes as we go into quarter 2, quarter 3 and quarter 4.
Yeah. Ella Clark saying, whatever you can do, Yasmin Hodge England, I can do too. Putting in a slightly longer shot for the home side. Back with Hodge England, over the top again to Berger. So, Lightning centre pass. Storm have now doubled the score on Lightning in this first quarter.
Centre contact outside.
I think you'll notice that Loughborough have been made to take the ball quite wide on the court, so along the sideline. So they usually like to receive the ball in the centre of the court in order that they can feel right and left. I think it's because Surrey Storm are literally, the one-on-one marking is actually forcing them to use the width. Their hands up over the ball and the pressure, they're hustling right from the start. So Loughborough will need to change that going into the second quarter.
Vantage contact from defence.
Well, Berger gets a tip of the fingers to it. It will go back into the hands of Storm. Hodge England on the back line, out to Parsons.
I think the hardest thing when you've got a goal shooter in the back who's that tall and is taking the ball over you, I think at the moment Twainy Keenan's too tight on the body. Needs to take a step off to allow her to go back and up to get that intercept nice and cleanly.
Vantage contact, wing defence outside, contact.
Van der Merwe stands by, gets into the hands
contact
of the former basketball player. Very good basketball player as well, Ella Clark.
So smooth, isn't she?
Vantage break, goal attack.
Individual technique that she has in the shooting circle. 15 playing 9, under 5 minutes remaining here in Loughborough.
And there's Vicky Osoyola, we're talking about coming out for interceptions, ran her feet, across the circle. Fantastic intercept. Ooh, there we go. Nearly, we talked about the two defenders dropping back in the circle from Surrey Storm. Katie Hughes nearly got her hand to that one.
Well, Chol Hock's shoe has come off. Her heel is bursting out the back.
You know that anyway. Okay, goalkeeper.
Storm bench. Nice and lively. Understandably so. 6-goal lead with 4.5 minutes remaining. Clark then pulls another one back though for the home side.
Great intercept here by Vicky. You can see she read that nice and early, came out, tip on the ball, collected 2 hands, straight down into attack for her team.
Vantage centre obstruction. Centre contact, tidy, 2 in a row there.
A wonderful hold by Chol Hock there, and a great finish. You can see Lightning slightly coming into their own now, starting to build a little bit more confidence.
Vantage obstruction in defence.
Golvin gets it in to Hodge England. Another textbook shot.
Vantage wing defence obstruction.
So Storm still now 4 ahead on the attack. Let's get depth. Is the coaching advice being shouted by head coach Mickey Austin.
I think what we'll need, Vicky Osoyola needs to step up on Hodge England. At the moment, she's feeding Siggy Berger quite well over the top, but there's no hands over pressure on from the circle edge. I think in order to kind of disrupt that flow going to the shooter, she needs to step up a little bit tighter, get her hands up in the air. Let's see if she can disrupt the pass going into the circle.
So a ball that Mary Cholhock didn't get to means it's back in the possession of Surrey Storm. Looking for space, a 3-second maximum hold, of course.
Fantastic. I think I mentioned earlier, Surrey Storm need to use the middle of the court a little bit more. They're getting stuck on the sidelines. Again, Vicky Osola came through. Nice interception.
It's off you, goalkeeper.
Couldn't quite hold that one, Cholhock.
A groan from the crowd here in Loughborough. She snatches it back.
Which she makes good this time. Fabulous goal. That's the worst shooter's worst nightmare, isn't it, when it doesn't even hit the ring?
A layoff that didn't work that time for Cholhock, but it did in the end, and pulls one back for Lightning. Storm, though, leading 17-13, 2 minutes remaining until the first quarter chats for Sarah Bayman and Mickey Austin.
I think what's been really impressive in terms of this Surrey Storm start, I think they're just playing with confidence, they're letting the ball go, they're getting to circle edge, and I think Ziggy Berger has been such a strong target for them in the back at the moment. It's really built that lead, so we need to be doing more of the same in that quarter-time chat.
So they've started well, Surrey Storm, 2 times the Super League champions. 4 wins this season, as mentioned, against Team Bath, Full Stars and Sirens.
A little overcooked there. Nice idea in terms of getting some depth, but executive pass let them down.
So Keenan gets it back in to Panigari, to Shaw. Clark looking for space. Joseph as busy as ever.
I think what Koleska's doing really well is she's making Mary Cholhock move around the circle. She loves being underneath the post, so however we've seen her towards the edge of the circles, not where she needs to be, so making them do one more pass. And there we go, turnover by Katie Hughes. Can they convert it?
So Cholhock out of the shooting circle. Oh, long ball over using virtually the whole width of the court, Storm, and a bit of height on it.
That's a defender's dream. It doesn't mean you have to run all the way down to the second, third line. Fantastic finish by Ziggy Berger there. And it's what Surrey Storm have to capitalise on, especially in this first quarter and first half. The more turnover they can get, they can take to goal, will really put Loughborough under pressure.
So counting down the last few seconds of this first quarter. Another one drops in for the Duck Egg Blue. They will wait for the buzzer, and it's been a very good start for the away side. Surrey Storm here at the Sir David Wallace Sports Hall, leading the way. 18 goals to 13. Loughborough Lightning have a little bit of work to do. Second quarter coming up.
Getting active brings its own rewards.
Lifting a leg. My speciality.
its own rewards.
Go for the ankles.
Welcome back to Loughborough and the Sir David Wallace Sports Hall. Loughborough Lightning 13, Surrey Storm 20 is the confirmed score that we have after that first 15 minutes of action. Huddles from Surrey Storm, huddles from Loughborough Lightning. Ebony Usora-Brown next to me. Sum up that first 15 minutes and what potentially would have been said by both Sarah Bayman and Mickey Austin.
I think Storm was very good. Mickey Austin was trying to say something really good start, really positive netball, playing the ball nice and short, not allowing the Loughborough defenders to come through and take the interceptions they're so used to getting. And then from the Loughborough bench, in terms of work rate, they need to get their hands over the ball nice and early, try and change the fortune going into the second quarter.
So throughout this match, we'll bring you up to speed with any changes that we are given or that we spot. But at the moment, it's Loughborough Lightning, centre court. Joseph Panagari, little 1-2 back and forth.
Oh. I think what Surrey Storm are doing really, really well is that they're choosing which challenges to make. So they're putting the pressure on Loughborough in terms of actually execute the right pass. So I think in terms of doing 1, 2, 3, 4 phases, it's unusual for Loughborough having to do that. So they keep building that pressure, they might see more balls spilled. In fact, she's got glue at the end of her hands tonight. Every ball that's gone over, she's pulled in. Unlucky gesture.
Storm starting this second quarter where they left off. Siggy Berger. Let's have a look. 20 from 20, 100%. Ella Clark to balance it up on the Lightning side, 7 from 7 at 100% also. But it's the away side looking for their 5th win of the season at the moment that's leading the way here.
Centre obstruction. Obstruction goalkeeper.
So you'll see Twinning Keenan there. At the moment, Siggy Berger is posting up quite well underneath the post. So she needs to keep her feet moving, try and confuse the feeder's space, get in front. So it's not as easy for them just to fling the ball over her head into the circle, into Siggy Berger.
Twinning Keenan has the pleasure of trying to keep tabs on Siggy Berger this evening. She's in the goalkeeper position for Loughborough Lightning. Her mum, of course, head coach at London Pulse, had that big win against Mavericks on Saturday.
Wasn't that a shock result?
Yeah. Just sums up the Super League this year, though, doesn't it, Ebony? You just don't know what's going to happen.
It's been so interesting. I think never mind playing in it. We finished our game against Wasp and heard about that result. And so surprised. I can't wait to watch it.
Contact defense, penalty.
We had them on Sky a few weeks ago, and I think we said there's another win coming here for Pulse.
They've been steadily building, so a good win for them. Great take by Chalhog, great finish. She's been relatively quiet this game, which is quite surprising from what we thought right from the start of the game. Let's see if she can build herself into it a little bit more.
Is that because of defensive pressure from Surrey Storm?
I think it is because of defensive pressure. We talked earlier about the dropping 2 defenders back into the circle. So the feeders at the moment are unsure as to where to put the ball, because at the moment they're quite overcooking it sometimes. So again, should we need to create some space in order to create some clarity for the feeders up front.
So Shaw with a quick centre pass. Lightning looking to pull back.
Contact wing defense.
The deficit at the moment. Down by 7 after the first quarter.
An uncharacteristic miss there, straight under the post. But I think that's because she hasn't had much service from the attacking players. She's been relatively quiet. Great intercept by Jay Shaw.
It was such a great intercept that Cholhot landed, had no one to pass it to, and thought, you know what, I'm going to have to take this shot myself from where I don't probably really want to.
I know, it's absolutely fantastic. The athleticism of both of them.
Well, the crowd liked it. It brings Lightning back to 10. Well, but the shooter that hasn't missed many this evening, just 1 in total. Siggy Berger goes down the other end. A quick replay there. Loughborough looking to keep on that momentum there from that good move.
a 10-goal deficit. You wouldn't have really thought that at the beginning of this match. I think the key here would be Ella Clark. At the moment, she's been relatively quiet. She needs to do more work inside the circle, give some more opportunities to Loughborough to shoot, and you may see the score turn over.
Well, for Lightning in that round 12 win against Mavericks, they were 3 down at half-time and ended up winning by 5. And this is the start that Sarah Bayman spoke about to Gail Davis at the top of the show. She wanted it to be better. It's got to be quicker in the first 30 minutes. That's what she wanted. She's not getting that at the moment because Storm are absolutely flying. 10 minutes to go until half-time. They have a 12-goal lead.
Oh, wow. What a beautiful play from Van der Merwe there. And a great finish by Siggy Berger. It just shows the confidence that Surrey Storm are playing with, and it's really great to see. You can hear Mickey Austin on the bench cheering her team along, and they're really thriving off that.
Time injury to the centre.
So an injury to the centre, and a change coming as well. So Nat Panagari puts her bib back on. Joseph being forced back into centre third. Lightning looking for space. Oh,
great steal by Vicky.
It was close.
Contact, goalkeeper.
And I think that's the key for Loughborough Lightning. You see Ella Clark there, she landed inside the circle again, a threat to goal. That's why she was able to do that shooter-shooter pass to Mary Cholhock. We need to see more of that, especially in this second quarter, if Loughborough stand a chance of reducing the deficit. And there she goes again. Has got super on them. Well done, Siggy Berger.
Shouting words of encouragement to her teammates. 13 goal advantage, Loughborough. Panagari. We'll pick it up on the sideline.
Illegal shot at goal.
Second time she's tried the layoff, whatever you want to call it, style, but it hasn't worked for Cholhock at the moment.
No,
unsettled in that shooting position.
She does indeed, but I think that's the work of the defenders at the moment. I've seen the layup once or twice with Gretel Tippett in the international game, so when it's on, it's on. It looks beautiful, but you've got to be very accurate in terms of to make sure it lands.
Contact, goalkeeper. Back with her. That's it.
Keenan will stand by in the goalkeeper position, and normal service will be continued for Berger. Puts another one in then for Surrey Storm. 30 playing 16.
At the moment, Surrey Storm are literally going through the Loughborough defence so easily. So I think in terms of strategy, they need to keep their midcourt away from the circle edge.
Well, we're picking up new netball fans all the time here on Sky Netball as we head towards the World Cup, of course, in Liverpool, the 12th to the 21st of July. Every game will be live on Sky. And if this is your first game watching, and we were big enough, of course, Loughborough Lightning going for their 8th successive straight win. But this match so far, Ebony, is just an example of the Super League this year. It's just so up and down. Storm have a lead, and deservedly so.
It's up and down, it's around, and I think that's what the key is. I think being part of a team, you have to turn up and perform each and every occasion, every opportunity. The saying goes, you're only as good as your last match. And this league this year, anyone could beat anyone.
Ella Clark, nothing but net, as they say, pulls one back. A reminder, Storm 7th in the Super League before the start of this final round 13 match. 4 wins from 12 on 12 points. Remember, top 8 of the 10 teams go to the Fast Fives in October. That wonderfully entertaining format, which is different but exciting.
Persistent contact was the caution. One back on the whistle.
I think what's been really interesting in terms of Loughborough's run in terms of their 7 consecutive win is that many of the times they've been 8 goals down. So it would be interesting to see in terms of if they can actually build a lead and maintain it and build from it. So I don't think I've seen this margin, this greater margin in terms of previous games, in terms of coming back from it. But again, we've got a whole second half to go. Let's see what they can do.
Well, that's it. We've seen deficits overturned in the Super League over the years, and this year in particular.
That's it.
That was much better from Twainy Keenan. She came off the body of Siggy Berger, ran her feet, and was able to disrupt the ball. We need to see more of that going in the remainder of this quarter.
Is that how you would defend against
I
Siggy
would.
Berger?
I think it's really hard when you have a static shooter who's trying to position you all the time. So you need to come off the body, keep your feet moving, and like I said, get up to the intercept nice and quickly.
So outside.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. All the time.
Exactly what they said, exactly what they said. They've got to keep moving. And Surrey Storm, are they going to put another one in? No. I'd never fight Nat Panigari for a ball, me. Never, never.
I would.
Good to hear, good to hear.
No, she's a real fighter. I think Nat, not only on the court, but she's a wonderful person off the court. And a real linchpin to this Loughborough side. So I'm going to need a big game from her.
Indeed, the Lightning captain. So Panigari to Joseph, and that wonderful sporting family, of course, brother Jonathan, rugby player extraordinaire. Back to Panigari. We're coming up to 5 minutes before half-time. Ella Clark, not comfortable. Puts it back out the circle. Hang on, let me get a little bit closer here. There you go.
She's playing with the defender. She's playing with them.
Guys, if you keep on, I'm going to caution. It wasn't even 2.
So Gary Burgess making sure the players are fully aware of who's in charge here this evening.
Really unusual there. You could tell Surrey are getting a little unsettled. We had both shooters outside of the circle. What's been working really well for them is having one post and a goal attack working around the shooter. So hopefully they can go back to that. Great steal by Twainy Keenan.
So the steal from Keenan. Roars from the Lightning faithful. Back on the attack, 21 playing 33.
Vanish contact in defence.
A snatch from Cholhok and a goal from the Ugandan.
You can kind of sense a momentum shift at the moment in terms of Loughborough. They've picked up a couple of interceptions, a couple of balls, which are landing as they're going through the court. So, oh, big call there from the umpire.
So Ian Fuller working that back line. You can see him there in the background. Former professional dancer, Ian Fuller. There you go. Yeah, on the West End.
A man of many talents.
And the likes of Cats. Yeah, did the Commonwealth 2014 final with Gary Burgess, so a good umpiring partnership.
Instruction goalkeeper.
Can also let you into a little secret. He used to be my mum's basketball coach back in the day.
If you were, you could have had it.
He gets everywhere, that Fuller. All right, 3 minutes remaining. Let's keep the tempo is the shout from the Surrey Storm bench to our left. And it is their centre pass.
And I think that's going to be really important, not only for the remainder of the quarter, but going to the second quarter. I think Surrey Storm have had a number of games where they've had a stellar first half, but it's the second half which has been their downfall. So if they can maintain this lead, it'll really set them up for a second half performance.
That's it. It's a throw in. Yep.
That was a great read by goalkeeper coming through, Twainy Keenan there. He was off her mark, almost as quick as Usain Bolt.
Ball's rolled over, and then Lightning's possession. They're keeping it in their hands. It's back and forth. Storm defending nicely, making it hard.
Contact, goal defence, penalty. On the ball. Time, please.
And I think that's what, obviously the game plan that Mickey Austin has given Surrey Storm. You're seeing Loughborough Lightning having to make at least 7 or 8 passes before they're feeding the circle. So again, building that pressure, making sure that any pass that's put into the circle is executed on point.
So a change for Storm. Hodge England in front of us coming off, passing her goal attack bib over. So Dixon now on court for Surrey Storm. Maria Dixon.
And she's a really strong player. I had the pleasure of playing against her last week, and in terms of her court craft, it's improved immensely over the last couple of years. So it's going to be interesting in terms of how she changes the dynamic of the game.
So the first change made There's confirmation of the team scrolling through for the Duck Egg Blue. First change in this match, 23:34, 90 seconds remaining as Loughborough pull another one back. I mean, no surprise to Sarah Bayman and her squad, but they're going to have to work to pull this one back again, work to get their 8th successive victory in the Super League. We're going to go into half-time.
It's a position they've been in before, so I guess the chat will be stick to the game plan. Execute the basics and the result will come, but they've got a lot of work to do.
Contact on the ball.
A rare miss by Berger, but she pops one in. 11 goals to the advantage, so Loughborough centre pass. They were on a little bit of a roll then, weren't they, Loughborough Lightning, but it's been stifled again by Storm as we're going towards half-time.
They were. I said that they had a bit of a shift in momentum, and they were really capitalising on it. They were letting the ball go, finding space on the court, especially in the attacking third, but also the introduction of Ella Clark, actually getting herself in the circle and a bit more involved. However, the Tigers shift a little bit. They'll need to pick up a few more balls in order to reduce the deficit.
So, potentially, but you never know, maybe the last couple of moves before half-time. Cholhock's tall, but not that tall. Van der Merwe, Parsons, Dixon. Joseph battling, rugby style, gets it to Cholhock. 10 seconds remaining. The home fans would like to see a little goal pop in before the whistle goes.
A lot of bodies on the line at the moment. It's great contesting. Oh, unlucky. Unlucky. So let's go.
So the half-time buzzer goes. Let's have a quick pop in there. One more will be added on the board for the home side. 25 playing 35 after the first 30 minutes. It was a lively start, but once again, Loughborough Lightning are going to have to pull this one back to get another win. Gail Davis, you're on court.
Thanks very much, Catherine. I'm with Nat Panagari. Nat, Sarah talks pre-game about the start. Didn't quite get it right again, did you, today?
No, it wasn't good enough, and a quality side like Storm could have come hard at us, and that was just too much for us at start, so it's not good enough.
You moved to centre, and you seem to have much more effect and much more impact on the game. What changes did you notice? Certainly the ball got into Mary a little bit easier, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was just what the coach sees, and obviously you've got to adapt to it as a player, and we do have a few options in there in centre court, so I suppose we can slot into that.
Go well in the second half. 10 to make up, can you do it?
Yeah, I think we can.
Oh, we will wait and see in the second half. Katie, it's just about the biggest challenge in the Super League that you faced inside that circle today, but you've managed to keep both the Loughborough shooters pretty quiet, haven't you?
We're working together, we're doing a job. Hopefully we continue with that job for the second half and the scoreline keeps increasing as it does.
10 ahead. Can you hold on? In the past, maybe you haven't performed as well in the second half as you have in the opening halves.
We always say we take each quarter as it comes, so that's job 1, job 2 done. Now we've got job 3 and job 4 to do.
We look forward to it. Thanks very much, Katie. Good luck in the second half.
So Katie Hughes saying we've got job 3 and 4 to do. Nat Panagari, I think we can do it. 25-35. Join us after the break for the third quarter.
Getting active brings its own rewards.
Oh dear. Won't anyone play with you?
Getting active brings its own rewards.
I thought you weren't allowed to walk with the ball.
Well, Surrey Storm have got Loughborough rattled. There have been some great moments of flair from both sides, but at the moment the Surrey Storm defence are putting on a remarkable display. It's 25-35. The away side lead by 10. Some of these stats from the game. Dan Ryan, what pings out to you?
Well, across the board, it's relatively even, but more shots at goal, obviously, for Surrey Storm. And Ziggy Berger is doing a fantastic job in goal shooter for Storm at the moment. She's lethal with that left hand and causing a lot of trouble for the Lightning back end.
Yeah, what are the highlights have you spotted from the game?
Well, I think what's been really impressive is the game plan that Storm have come in with, particularly defensively, and they've worked really hard to make sure that Mary Cholak doesn't have a huge amount of influence on the game so far. What they're doing exceptionally well, though, they win the ball defensively, they make it count down the other end. We're just having a look here at some of the clips of the way they've operated against Mary so far, and Lorraine Kowalowski has done a fantastic job at mixing up her starting position, forcing Mary away from the post, making her a little bit uncomfortable. And also Caddy Holland there as well has done a fantastic job in working in partnership with her goalkeeper. One will have a fly at the front ball, the other comes swooping at the back, really mixing up that space, and we've seen quite a few misfeeds come in from both the mid-quarters of Lightning at times, and it's causing a lot of confusion, which they're winning ball off, which is a really smart ploy.
Is this a different style we're seeing tonight than the style they played against you? They played Team Bath last week.
It is a different style, and it's working really well for them. Obviously, with their target shooter in the back, they've had to change their defensive style. I think we've got more of a moving circle. But again, they're dropping back nice and early. They're working with each other. You can hear the communication sitting at the sidelines. And let's see if they can take it into the second half and, again, keep supplying their team with more ball.
Yeah, Mickey Austin is being very vocal from the sidelines. Is this a pivotal game for Loughborough Lightning?
Oh, it absolutely is. When you think about the context of the season, this is not a game they want to drop. They want to consolidate a place in the top four. They lose tonight, it could really hurt their chances because they've got a couple of really big games still to come against top four teams. But the way Storm are playing at the moment, 10-goal lead, they need to stay disciplined to task because they are capable of taking this game. So we're set up for a cracking final 30 minutes.
We certainly are. The third quarter's always been troublesome this season. It has been so far for Surrey Storm. What will Mickey Austin be saying right now going into that third quarter?
She's just saying bed down. Let's do the basics well. Keep playing short. You're not allowing the Loughborough Lightning defence to get hands on the ball. And again, keep letting the ball go with confidence. Ziggy Berger in the back will snatch it in and she'll score for us.
Well, these are the last 6 results for Surrey Storm and highlighting their third quarter. And they've lost 3. There's quite a lot of information there, but what we can pick out is that the third quarter has not always been great for them. So we'll see what the game plan is going into that. But for Loughborough Lightning, Nat Panagari said they can come back from this. They're 10 goals down. Do you think they can?
Oh, well, the scary fact about Lightning is how quickly they can score goals. So they are playing below themselves at the moment. They're certainly not at their best, and that's full credit to Storm because they're making them very uncomfortable. But you've got to be wary of a Lightning side because they can run at home hard. And all their big wins this season have been when they have been behind early in the second half. So expect them to come storming home. But if Surrey Storm are in front at three-quarter time, they're going to give themselves a really good chance.
We saw a surprise result on Saturday with Pulse. Will we see another one this evening? They're playing well, the away side, but can the home side claw it back? These don't want them to. We'll see after the break.
Getting active brings its own rewards.
Ah, lifting a leg. My speciality.
Getting active brings its own rewards.
Go for the ankles.
Welcome back to Loughborough. It's a 10-goal lead for the away team. Surrey Storm at half-time, 35-25. The conversations would have been had by Sarah Bayman and Mickey Austin as we go into this third quarter. Dan Ryan is alongside me now for the last hour of this match, Dan. You kind of said it with the ladies there in studio. We know what Loughborough Lightning can do. We know they can come back. This is where Surrey Storm now have to have the biggest quarter that they possibly can.
Yeah, absolutely, and almost a 3-second call there to start things off, but you'd think if you were Mickey Austin, she would have really reinforced the importance of discipline for her side to stick to task, because the game plan has worked beautifully for the first 30 minutes. If they can reproduce that, they're really going to challenge Loughborough Lightning to the very, very end.
So you wouldn't change it, right? If you're Mickey Austin as a coach, you just say, listen, more of the same, but keep on task, keep on point.
Absolutely, and a lot of it is going to be mental and their resilience to stay on task when the pressure comes, because Lightning will come back, there is no doubt about that. And as I said in the halftime break, if they're in front at three-quarter time, they're going to have the confidence to go in with it, but if it does get a little bit close and a little bit tight heading into that last break, perhaps it's Lightning's game.
So sidelines, Joseph. Lightning looking to pull back the deficit.
Obstruction.
There's another one that the crowd will like here at the Sir David Wallace Sports Hall. The Storm quickly into the centre pass taken within a couple of shots. You're in the shooting D. Dixon, nice and high.
Really important shot there from Rhea Dixon. She needs to make sure that she pulls the attention away from Ziggy Berger. Ziggy Berger, of course, is the go-to girl, but they need shots and volume out of Dixon in that goal attack role. Keep the defence separated.
So Joseph back to Oyesola. Another high ball into Cholhock. Wants herself nearer to the 10-foot post.
It's a couple of shots that have fallen off the radar early for Clark, particularly with Cholhock moving a lot in this game because of the pressure of the defence. She needs to step up and nail them.
Moving a lot more down. You're seeing outside of the shooting D, a lot more than you normally do in that goal shooter position. So, Storm 36, Lightning 27. Storm looking to consolidate. Lightning looking to pull back.
Yes, wing attack.
It's another good high ball into Berger. We've seen that so much throughout the first half. You can just see how close to the body Tony Keenan is. Really hard when you're stuck on the body of the shooter to get up freely and elevate. Just needs half a step off, give herself a little bit more room, play to her strengths. It's a good rebound and a good outlet.
So Lightning, oh, nice and smooth, a lot of pace on the ball, results in another one back. The fans like that one. A reminder, Loughborough Lightning came here in this last match in round 13 in 4th position, the same points of Team Bath. A win here tonight will elevate them into the top 3, give them a little bit more comfort in that top 4 position. Remember, we need the top 4 teams after the regular season, the 18 rounds that are done, towards those semi-finals on the 11th of May before the grand final on the 18th of May. So, as you said at half-time, Dan, a big match for Loughborough Lightning. Mavericks fans and players will be watching this one. Eyes on the board.
They certainly will. The reality, too, for Loughborough, if they can win this game, they can start realistically striving towards that second-place finish as well, if not first. So it's not just top 4, it's even higher than that if they're capable of getting across the line today. So plenty to play for, and Storm would love to be a team known for shaking up the competition ladder come the end of the competition.
A reminder of the significance of the positions after round 18.
Yeah, well, obviously Team 1 will host a semi-final against Team 4, and then obviously the second place team hosting the second semi against Team 3. So, as we know in this competition, home court advantage means a lot.
Mid-court. Mid-court. Yes.
So I mentioned previously, 2-time Super League champions Surrey Storm. They finally won it after so much trying in 2015 and 2016. And Mickey Austin, of course, was in both of those sides. At the moment, all Loughborough Lightning are focusing on is pulling back this deficit. It's back to 9, coming up to 10 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
You can see there the two Storm defenders working together in the circle. A good contest. And Caddy Hughes.
Yep.
They're happy to isolate Ella Clark outside that circle, let her work around and really shut down the access to the post. Emily Golvin's been a bit of an unsung hero for the Storm attack at the moment. She's finding really good depth on second phase, close to that circle edge. Just makes access to Berger all that much easier.
Throw in.
Van der Merwe, Panigari. Comes out Loughborough Lightning's way.
Instruction, keeper. Keeper, look at you infringing, please. Just in, where she is. That's it.
It's another one off from Clark, gets her own rebounds.
Contact goalkeeper. I'll let you do that all day, you know that.
When are we going to mic up the umpires, right? Love it. So a little bit of a blast of music here in Loughborough. 32 playing 40, under 10 minutes remaining until the final quarter. Surrey Storm had the 10-goal lead after half-time. It's been whittled back at the moment to 8, but it's them on the charge. Oh, Oyesola.
Yeah, she was looking for that one. She sat back in a 2-on-1 against Berger and then timed her run into the pocket perfectly. Dixon just caught sitting, waiting for the ball. You're a brave person to do that against Oyesola. Here's an opportunity for Loughborough. They just need to chip away at the deficit. They're in no hurry.
Defending out.
Plenty of time on the clock.
There's a big scoreboard right behind myself and Dan Ryan that we can't see in commentary, but the players can, and Nat Panigari has a quick glance up to it before that centre pass for Lightning, and within seconds another one's pulled back for the home side.
This is an important passage here for Storm. You can just feel a little bit of momentum shifting with the home side. They need to keep the pressure on here, the visitors. That's a good ball from Parsons. Confident release, quick and early. And Berger delivers.
Vanny's break goal attack.
Clark, Joseph, Cholhock. Familiar names in combination that give Loughborough Lightning the result that they want. And then it was 6, the lead for the away team.
Where the ball girl is.
You can just see the pressure defensively really starting to build from Lightning, shutting down the front option on the centre pass, forcing it to go back. And they come away with the turnover here, just built and applied pressure. Really well done.
Oyesola looking for space, the bullet pass. Through to Joseph, a little 1-2 for those.
Contact, goal defence and goalkeeper.
It's a better shot from Clark. It dribbled in, but it counts. That's what matters.
Little jog over, pick up the ball. Panigari. They're enjoying this at the moment, Loughborough Lightning.
There's a sense of calm creeping into the way they're playing attack at the moment. They spent a lot of that first 30 minutes in a little bit of, I guess, an uncomfortable state where they're a little bit rushed at times and a little bit panicked, and now really just in control of their own timing.
Vanny's contact, goal attack.
It's a good drive from Dixon, needs to hit this one.
And she does. Head coach Mickey Austin has her tracksuit off to our left. Obviously, of course, still playing and coaching. May see her at some point. Either that or she's just hot.
Well, she'll be sitting there feeling the change of momentum. So the first thing when you feel that momentum shift as a coach is what can I do to get the momentum back in my favour? Is it a positional switch? Is it a change of personnel? Is it a change of strategy or structure? Something certainly needs to change because Lightning are really getting back in control.
Here she comes. There she is. Into the shot. Mickey Austin taking to the court in this third quarter with 6 minutes remaining. Goldin comes to the bench. Dixon still in the goal attack position. Austin then in the centre for Surrey Storm. She didn't like what was happening, understandably so. It's just a 4-goal lead at the moment now to Storm.
Well, she'll bring some confidence and experience to this front line. She'll let the ball go. She can't slot the goal, though, for Berger, who misses a crucial one. It's a really critical 5 minutes here, Catherine. I've said it a few times, but for Storm to win this game, you just feel they need to be in front at three-quarter time. Really difficult to chase a team like Lightning when they can score with such ease and speed through Mary Chollock at the back there.
Centre, it's a game stew.
Confirmation of the Storm squad on court as Cholhock grabs, pops another one in, gives herself a round of applause.
Vicky Olasola is so good at that straight line. Her closing speed is absolutely outstanding. When you play against a player like her, it's so important that your change of direction is your go-to move again and again. You can't run straight lines against someone like her. You will not beat her that way at all. Getting her hands to a lot of ball now.
Distraction goalkeeper, penalty.
So under 5 minutes remaining of this third quarter, it is down to 3, the lead for Surrey Storm. Remember, 4 wins this season, haven't won a match since round 10 when they had that victory over Sirens.
That's a good ball again from Parsons. Confident to deliver from range in that goal third. And Dixon delivers too. That's a really important passage of play from Storm. They got the turnover and now the chance to go on a 2-goal run. So we'll just test their maturity in this front line. Vicky Olasola again. Gee, she's good.
Oh, the crowd like it. Sports fans like it. It's heart, it's desire, it's passion. Winning every ball she possibly can. Vicky Olasola, 3rd year at Loughborough Lightning, the engineering student, doing some good work for her side in this third quarter. Still 4 goals though to pull back. Storm get it.
Well, Rhea Dixon needs to be careful of that because about 4 or 5 times in this quarter alone, her direct opponent has got her hand on the ball because of the straight line drive. So get that change of direction, that dynamic play happening to regain a bit of control of the one-on-one contest there. Good feed. %90 for Ziggy Berger. 40 goals to her name. It's a great return.
Exactly the same percentage as that lady, Mary Cholhock. But of course, not as many shots. 2.5 minutes remaining.
Burnley's offside, centre.
Oh, great challenge from Everett on the outside. Just snuck her hand in there. And they transition with such pace through court. Hard to stop with Mary at the back.
Looking to capitalise again.
Offside, come on. In the goal third.
I'm going to say Mickey Austin said, "You are kidding me." Something along those lines.
Something like that.
Offside, advantage contact.
Just a little bit easier at the access to Mary in this third quarter. Cholok delivering, starting to really come into the game. It's a strong take from Dixon, it had to be. And a strong take from Berger too. I like the confidence they have just to turn and deliver when it's on.
Centre, you're causing in the centre third.
It's a lot of penalties on that transverse line from Mickey Austin. As soon as the mid-quarter is put out of play on that transverse line, puts the defensive team under so much pressure because they're a man down. You really want that back end to be applying and building pressure all the time. As soon as someone puts themselves out of play, that pressure is absolutely released.
Goal attack obstruction.
So into the final minute of this third quarter. It was a 10-goal lead for Surrey Storm at half-time. Currently, it has been whittled down by Loughborough Lightning to just 2. Sola's back on the floor, but she'll be back up again.
Time, please. One white the floor.
So Ian Fuller asking for the floor to be white. Clock stopped. Remember, you said, Dan Ryan, if Surrey Storm are ahead at the end of the third quarter,
they're in with a chance.
Big chance, yeah.
Absolutely.
Big chance, half a chance, a chance.
Correct.
So it's going to go that way with 15 seconds remaining. 44-47, can the home team pull one back? Ella Clark overcooking it a little to Joseph.
They want to get a defensive stop here, Storm. They won't want another one against them. Van der Merwe. Oh, well done. Just too close on the body. But the pressure was good enough. And they've held it up.
Well, they have indeed. It was a 10-goal lead for Surrey Storm at half-time, but Loughborough Lightning on their home court do not want to be denied their 8th successive win in the Super League. But they're still down 44-47.
Getting active brings its own rewards.
Oh dear. Won't anyone play with you?
Active brings its own rewards.
I thought you weren't allowed to walk with the ball.
Welcome back to Loughborough for the fourth and final quarter. Dan Ryan, statistics in front of us. Let's have a look.
Yeah, still really even across the board in most parts. A few more, obviously, shots at goal from Surrey Storm, replicated in the fact that they are in control of this game only just. Very tight in that third quarter, and we're set up for a really exciting final 15 minutes.
We are indeed. Storm then with a 3-goal advantage. Dan Ryan, assistant coach at Manchester Thunder, national coach at Northern Ireland. World Cup coming up, Dan. But in the next 15 minutes, what do Loughborough Lightning have to do to pull it back? And what does Surrey Storm have to do to hold on for their 5th win?
Well, I think for Lightning, the biggest thing they need to remain is patient in their front line. We saw a lot more freedom in the way they played in that third quarter. They know they can score goals quite freely if they're just very patient and methodical with the ball. It's all about defensive pressure and turnovers from them. That's where they're going to win this game, and it's going to be from their back two, Vicky Olasola and Twaini Keenan, just making sure they're really clean in their approach and ensuring it's capitalised down the other end, which it should do with Mary as the go-to girl. For Storm, on the other hand, again, it's discipline to task. They've done a really good job to put themselves in a winning position. They need to make sure that they don't try and get ahead of themselves, play in the moment, and stay really clean defensively to keep building the pressure on Lightning, not put themselves out of play too much. Here's a good start from them. Every turnover counts.
So confirmation of the 7 on court for Surrey Storm. The team with the 4-goal lead.
Hodge England back into goal attack for Storm. Clearly because of the performance of that goal defence for Loughborough Lightning. Vicky Olasola in that third term did a great job.
Vantage break, wing defence.
So Austin back into her hands. Half an eye on playing, half an eye on the whole team, coaching. She says she does find it quite hard. She's still getting used to that player-coach role.
I'd imagine it'd be incredibly difficult. So much is going on as a player and also as a coach, having that depth of vision to see across the entire court and every athlete. It's a tough ask.
Wow, it's the eyes of Ella Clark. You got defenders jumping around, you got arms flying, Dan Ryan, but her eyes are just completely focused on the post.
Got a big role to play in this final quarter. Much better in that third term.
Wing attack, contact, centre third.
Needs to continue to be a scoring threat in there for Lightning.
Contact, wing defence.
It's a good ball again. Parsons has put in some beautiful feeds over the top of the defenders to find Berger.
Contact in the back. Goalkeeper.
Clark steps forward.
Storm are really quite happy just having one forward option on that centre pass. They're very dependent on just one attacker obviously going over, but there's no second forward option coming late. So they're under a little bit of pressure if that first option is shut down forward. Almost from Hughes.
Vantage goal.
So Parsons into the hands of the flying Van der Merwe.
Contact, centre, Vantage offside.
I think Loughborough Lightning would love the crowd to start being their 8th player at this point in time, with 11 minutes remaining and the 5-goal, 6-goal deficit that they have. Very quiet here at Loughborough.
Well, they played a huge role in the run home against Wasps a few rounds ago. They'll be hoping for the same here, but Storm have really started this final quarter well. And this is a critical one. They can really consolidate here, the visitors. They're a little bit stuck on ball side here. Need to open up the other side of the court. Lucky to get away with that one. Berger, she's been a rock. It's good defence from Mickey Austin. Again, quite stuck on ball side, really congested here, Storm. They need to open up the other side of the court. There's some opportunities there for Loughborough to really trap them in on top of the ball.
Hold time. Centre and centre. Cut it out, both of you. It's over in that far side in the goal third.
Bit of niggle going on between the two centres.
Contact.
That's great work from Vicky Olasola again. That's probably a shot that you really want to see Hughes England attack. Just make those Lightning defenders know that she's going to go to the post, so it's not all about Berger.
It's inside the circle, please. Centre, you're out of play. Goal attack, contact.
Great defence, shutting down the sweeping move. It's an important one for Lightning.
So they've got to make it count. Under 10 minutes remaining of this match here. 47 playing 54. They've stretched it back out again, Surrey Storm. Doubling and adding one to the lead they had coming into this last 15 minutes. Hannah Joseph feeding it in, as usual, to Cholhock.
It's really interesting. There are a couple of times there where Lightning had the clear access into Cholhock, but because she's a little bit out of her range, only shoots from close to the post. They didn't want to give her the ball, so they happily played it around until they got better access to find her in range. Really good patience. Cholhock will want to improve the range of her shot as she goes on, but gee, she's developing out of sight. That was a good attack from Keenan. They're holding on.
6 then the lead for the away side.
Contact, out of hands.
Looking ahead, forward, Lightning's next match. They're away at Team Bath, Surrey Storm. Well, they're at home to London Pulse. And of course, we have the run-in for the rest of the season. And you were mentioning, Dan, the run-in for Loughborough Lightning after Team Bath, Sirens, yourselves, Thunder, Pulse and Dragons. So not picking up maximum points here today will be a big dent, potentially not just in their Super League title chances, but just to get in the top 4 that we need. We've got 5 teams still battling.
Absolutely, and both teams tonight obviously playing for 2 different reasons or 2 different outcomes. Basically is what they're chasing. Lightning really wanting to consolidate a place in the final series, and Storm doing everything they can to make life as difficult as possible on the run home until this competition comes to an end. So lots of different pressures for both. Probably more pressure on Lightning, there's no doubt about that. If they want to win the competition, they're going to have to stand up today and show that they can deliver under those circumstances. So a big final 7 minutes. And here they come, back to 4.
Banners are waved. Cholhock puts another one in. Sorry, Storm's running is a tidy one as well, with after Pulse, Wasp, Stars, Dragons and Thunder at home on the last day of the season. But at the moment, with 7 minutes remaining, it's Loughborough Lightning, the home side, that are looking to pull this one back.
Really relaxed that shot there from Ella Clark. It was an important one. She sunk it beautifully. Olasola comes storming through.
A little bit more life now in the Sir David Wallace Sports Hall. Little snippet of potential 8th successive win. Austin flicking one over to Berger. Oh, the ground they cover with that nice little step forward towards the post.
50 from 54 at 92% for Ziggy Berger. One of her best games for the season, without a doubt. That's incredible volume. They've fed her really well tonight. Big turnover here for the visitors.
Mickey Austin making sure Gary Burge, Storm, right? Yeah, it's a Storm ball. Well, the crowd didn't like it. Cholhock ready, poised, waiting for the opportunity. She's got to stand by as the ball goes back into Surrey Storm's hand of Vicky Oyisola again.
Guess who? Unbelievable closing speed. No one is safe on that court with Oyisola lurking in that midcourt. Unbelievable. No point looking at the umpire on that one. Clean as you like. Brilliant attack on the ball. And again. She is out of control good.
Why is she so good?
Her commitment to the ball is brilliant, but you look at the line that she takes. She always takes the inside line, so her attacker is on her outside. She attacks the ball beautifully, and it's the closing speed. So many attackers take a final lunge into the ball, and Oyisola is at maximum speed. It's unbelievable to watch. Very much like Julie Coletto, netball fans might know from the Diamonds a couple of years back. So impressive.
So we need a few more flying moves from Vicky Oyisola, because at the moment they're coming back and Storm will pop another one in, and it's now 3 goals with 4.5 minutes remaining, which is a load of time in Super League netball, as we know.
It's a caution. Wait.
This is where it gets interesting for Storm. They're under all sorts of pressure now with momentum coming the way of Lightning. This is a critical one they want to capitalise on. Up to Berger again. Doesn't disappoint. Nicely done.
Caution handed out.
Backwards. Wing attack next to her, please.
By Gary Burgess. Parsons stands by Oyisola.
Gary's goal attack obstruction. 2-1.
Another turnover here. Throw-in is the call. Just under 4 minutes now. The passion starts to come out in all these players now. Every call has an impact. They need to keep their heads, stay disciplined to task.
Well, we know Loughborough Lightning like a last-minute thriller, of course. Those 1-goal wins in round 10 over Wasps, round 11 over 7 Stars.
The door is wide open on the cross round. Round you go. That's it.
Lots of push and shove between those two over the past couple of minutes. Berger coming off on top.
And then all of a sudden it's back to 5, the lead for Storm. And their centre pass with just over 3 minutes remaining here.
It's a big play from Lightning. They need to stay clean, hunt the ball. So close again, Keenan.
Obstruction, goalkeeper. Hold time. That's persistent descent, and that's a warning. She did step in, but you were always too close. That's enough.
So you get a telling off and then a goal against you, and it's 6 for Surrey Storm.
That is contact, goal attack.
Oyisola flicking one over.
Win. Hold time. That is now a warning for contact.
Well, the umpire's certainly not happy with the level of physicality coming in, particularly in the last 5 minutes. A lot of players having words spoken to. It's taking away from a lot of the flow of the game. Clark, it's a big shot. It's a good shot. They're still in with a chance. They're going to have to hurry here. Well, this could be a major upset.
So Austin, centre pass, trying to guide her Surrey Storm to a victory here before we move on to round 14. Austin looking for space back into the centre third.
Goal attack.
Oh, good access again to Berger. They played that ball around nicely. Just waited till she got her angle. They found their target, and she slots goal number 55 from 60. Good quick feed from Panagari on that occasion. Surprised we haven't seen them bomb it in a little bit quicker in the last 5 minutes just to get some quick goals on the board. That's credit to the Storm defence. They've made them a little uncomfortable today. This is going to be a big win for the visitors. They'll take a lot of confidence out of it, there's no doubt about it. And this young woman has been pivotal.
She has indeed. 56-62, coming up to 1 minute remaining here in Loughborough.
Take it round, goalkeeper.
That 7
take it round.
in a row
Yes,
win
right,
for
goal
Loughborough
attack.
Lightning is going to come to an end here on their home court. The Surrey Storm are going to get their 5th victory of the season. Team Bath, Tall Stars and Sirens have all suffered defeats at the hands of Loughborough Lightning. At the hands of Surrey Storm, excuse me, and Loughborough Lightning are going to go onto that list. Cholhock trying to pull one back, but it's going to be too late for the home side, and another interesting, I'm going to say, shock defeat. That's not disrespectful to Surrey Storm to say that, the run that Loughborough had been on, Dan Ryan.
No, absolutely not. I think many people would have predicted a Lightning win today based on ladder positions, based on rankings, based on form. But full credit to Surrey Storm. They've come with a plan, they've executed, and they've weathered the storm, so to speak, when every time Loughborough have put the pressure on, gathered momentum, they've responded. A really mature performance from Surrey Storm.
So the Surrey Storm bench to our left are on their feet already. Head coach Mickey Austin on court as the buzzer goes. One last shot. And you knew it was going to go in. Siggy Berger's had a wonderful match here for Surrey Storm. And Loughborough Lightning, the winning streak ends here at the Sir David Wallace Sports Hall. It's a defeat for Loughborough Lightning, but what a super win for Surrey Storm. 59-63. The handshakes are there, but Loughborough Lightning going to be very disappointed with that one as they move on away to Team Bath in the next round. It's dented the comfortable position that they were hoping to get in the top 4. Thunder leading the way, Wasps, Team Bath and Loughborough Lightning. Well, they're both on 27 points apiece, and Gail Davis, you're on court with potentially our player of the match.
Thanks very much, Catherine. Absolutely no doubt about it, really. Was there 57 goals out of 62 attempts, 91%. How good did that feel out there this evening?
It was so much fun. I actually really just enjoyed it. I feel the team first, second and fourth quarter, the things that we worked on last week, we really managed to pull together. And I'm glad that even though we had a slight lull, a massive lull in the third quarter, that we could like pull it back together for the last one. So it's to show it's not a fluke, and Storm are young and developing, so yeah.
I was going to say about that wobble in the third quarter. As a group, what were you saying to each other? You must take a huge amount of confidence in the way that you held off the challenge in that final quarter.
Yeah, I think we just all told each other, like, we can do it, we're making silly mistakes, that's how they're scoring. So we were like, let's just cut down on our mistakes and just have confidence in each other. So I think that's what happened. The minute we started having confidence, double movements, it started to work.
And your coach came on as well, Mickey Austin, just for that bit of experience. She's somebody that you can look to just to steady it, to make sure you could close out the game, I guess.
Yeah, because obviously Mickey had an injury, and it's so lovely to have her back on, just her knowledge, and because she's such a smart player already, that she's had time to watch the game and then come on and see where the gaps are and cover that. So we're grateful that she could come on and help us out. So yeah.
Word on your defenders today as well up the other end, because it's a tough ask, isn't it, against two huge goal scorers. How well did they do?
I'm so proud of them, but the whole defensive unit, like, they did so well, and obviously there was a massive height difference, just the fact that they could, like, just come out and just back themselves. So I was so proud. It's crazy.
And just finally, where do you go now? How do you finish the season? I guess you want real momentum to take into next year.
Yes, we definitely, score-wise, it doesn't matter so much. It's just about if we can grow as a team and develop on that, because it's in the end, if we do our job and win our own centre passes, any extra turnover is a bonus, and that's how we're going to start winning all the games. So we're just like the whole time pushing to end as high as we can.
Many congratulations. Well played today, Siggy. You are our player of the match. Very well played.
Thank you so much.
So a wonderful interview with our player of the match, Siggy Berger. Surrey Storm came and they conquered. Storm conquered Lightning, taking the victory here at Loughborough 63-59.
Getting active brings its own rewards.
Ah, lifting a leg. My speciality.
Active brings its own rewards.
I thought you weren't allowed to walk with the ball.
Well, a shock result here in Loughborough. Surrey Storm have beaten them. The scoreline is 63-59, winning by 4. Some of the stats from the game, some of the important figures. I'm here with Ebony Asura-Brown and Dan Ryan. And those stats really showed just what hard work Surrey Storm had put into this game. Remarkable. Are you surprised by tonight's results, Ebony?
I am a little bit surprised, but credit to Storm. They really came with a game plan today. Their defence worked tirelessly to shut down Mary Cholhock. And I think they took a lot of their interceptions to goal, and they were worthy winners tonight.
Yeah, Siggy Berger, she was ruthless in attack. Let's have a look at some of her play in action. And Dan, what kind of force is she for Surrey Storm?
Well, when you finish 60 minutes with 57 goals, you know you've had an incredible night out, and she was outstanding. Her hold, incredibly strong, presenting always a really clear target for her feeders. What I think that Storm attacking unit did really well, though, was they picked their moments when they delivered the ball to her. At times, the long ball was coming in where they were confident and free. Other times, they played the extra pass, got it to the circle edge, used the goal attack, connected to the shooter. They looked after her really well. So the confidence in using her to the best of her ability was on display from start to finish. And it's great to have a target goal shooter, but you've got to use them well. And Storm did that really well tonight. Yeah, everything it came together tonight. Well, she was the player of the match. Now, Mickey Austin is speaking to Gail Davis. Let's hear from Mickey.
Thanks very much, Di. Mickey, how proud are you of your side? Because for 3/4 of that game, I'm guessing they executed your plan perfectly, and for the other quarter, at least they held on.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I said to the girls at the end there, like, I literally couldn't be prouder of every single person, regardless whether they took their court or not. Everyone was locked in and really gave the ones of us that was wearing a bib at that given time the push that we needed. So I'm so proud of us for executing game plan. But look, we needed that, and I said to the girls, we needed that, and I'm glad that panned out exactly the way it did, because we've proved for the last 3-4 games that we can run any team in this league for 30 minutes. So to execute for that third quarter, even though it might not have been perfect, but just to stay goal for goal with them and then push on again in the last one, it really mattered, is exactly what we needed to show that we have that grit and resilience that we need to compete in this league.
You brought yourself on in the final quarter. Was that just for a little bit of reassurance out there?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I think the thing that we've been missing the past few weeks is that injection, that change of pace, or just giving the opposition something completely different to think about. And, you know, look, it's not about me. What's best for the team is exactly what happens, which is why I didn't start, because I wasn't worthy to, and I didn't need to come on in that third quarter because, again, I wasn't worthy to. So it's very much, you know, if you deserve the bib and you've owned that bib in training or in the previous game, then you keep wearing it until there needs to be a change. So grateful that I got a chance to run out, because I've missed being out there and donning this dress. But yeah, again, just not about me and a full team effort.
After tonight, you've got, as you were sort of talking to me before, 3 of the teams in your sort of mini league, haven't you? Pulse, Stars, Dragon, the teams around you. You have to finish this season on a high, don't you, and take that momentum to next year and build from there.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, like, it's not over until that final whistle of the final round, and every single one of us will keep gunning for a spot and a contract next season, and, you know, things that are far further than what happens out on this court this season. But, you know, what an amazing league. The fact that, like, Pulse went and beat Mavs, we've come and beat Loughborough, who haven't lost in 7 games, so anyone on their day can beat anyone, and what an amazing time to be in and around netball. And yeah, we're about to go into this run of 3 or 4 games, barring Wasps in the middle of it, of this mini league that we're all joint on points with. And, you know, there's some games at the start of the season that you target, you know, we want to take 3 points off of these guys home and away, and if we can get a win off of somebody else, great. But, you know, we've proved that we can compete with any team in this league. It's just about sustaining that consistency for 60 minutes, which is, I think, something that we've faltered on. But that's to be expected considering the inexperience that we have in terms of court time in our team. So I'm so proud of every single one of my athletes and just the way that they keep me loving every single minute of this job, and I don't take that for granted.
You can breathe now, Mickey. It's okay. She said to me, Di, gosh, this Monday night football is not very good for my heart. Well played today, Mickey.
Thank you so much. Cheers.
My goodness, she is a whirlwind of energy and activity, and she's a good talker. She's got a fantastic sporting brain, and a great shot there of her embracing Siggy. They're delighted because they've worked so hard to put 4 quarters together, and finally they've done it. She alluded to the fact that they've had a good first half against a lot of teams, against you last week against Team Bath, but it was about getting 4 together.
It was, and I think you know that they're always going to rise to the challenge, and I think having a 30-minute performance after week a week can get really wearing, disappointing. Yeah. But they came out tonight. The third quarter was a bit touch and go. Loughborough picked up momentum. I think Nat Panagari really started to become the general in the middle for Loughborough and pulling that attacking together. But Mickey came on, and again, she gave them a sense of calmness and confidence, and I think that they really built on that in the third quarter and took that into the fourth, and were able to get that result.
Do you agree, Dan? What did she add?
Yeah, I think they made the changes at the right time. All the changes that they made were in momentum swings, just to kind of halt the progress of the other team. So the timing of that was just right, and obviously to get introduced into the game at a pressure time, just having a level head and some composure coming in really helped. I think they managed the goal attack role really well today as well. That change at 3/4 time to bring Hughes England back on did a fantastic job, and really just did settle the front line and really supplied great ball to Berger. So it was well managed tonight for sure.
Yeah, the relationships are coming together for Surrey Storm, and their aim is to finish in the top half of the table. From what you've seen tonight, do you feel that they can do that?
Without a doubt, I think what Mickey alluded to beforehand is about consistency, and I think we're seeing that with every team in the league. It's about the consistent performance, putting together 4 quarters. So if they can maintain this momentum, take real confidence from this win, and continue to build the last 5 games, they could see themselves closer towards that top 4.
OK, well, let's have a look at the table and see where they are right now and what those 3 points tonight have done for them. Well, they're nearly there. They're on 15 points. It's quite a large margin, though, isn't it, between themselves and Saracens Mavs? Is it a possibility? I mean, their next games, they're up against Pulse, Wasps, Stars, Dragons and Thunder, Dan. They're against you. Do you feel that they may just finish kind of 6th or 7th?
Look, they may fall out just a fraction from that top 5 for sure, but a 6th place finish for them is quite a really respectable season when you put things all into perspective. And I think probably the biggest thing out of today's game is you'd hope for Loughborough Lightning that this isn't the one that they live to regret, because in their mind it's probably one they really need to pencil in and consolidate a top 4 spot. A couple of tough games to run at home. All the top 4 teams tend to play each other over the next couple of weeks, so it's going to be interesting. But Storm could end this season as being a bit of a giant killer and destroying finals hopes for other teams. So a really interesting game in the context of the season tonight, and hopefully it's one that Loughborough don't live to regret.
Television history could have taken place this evening. It could be a turning point tonight. Well, let's hear from the head coach of Loughborough Lightning. Sarah Bayman is with Gail.
Thanks very much, Di. Well, Sarah, you came into this with 7 wins in a row, and you must have thought you got this coaching luck sussed. What happened out there this evening?
We just played horribly, to be honest. First half particularly, we just looked really flat, and I don't know what that's down to, but we've got to sort it out by Friday, and we gave ourselves a mountain to climb that we couldn't do in the second half.
Were there many positives? I guess quarter 3 must be the biggest.
Yeah, I mean, we showed patches of what we can do. It just felt like all game we had like 2 or 3 people working, 1 person resting, and we never really got into a rhythm. And yeah, there was no flow about it. There was just not a real amount of intensity about it. It was pretty disappointing.
Do you think some of that's down to the fact you've gone with the same 7 for the last 8 games?
I don't think so. You know, like having a set 7 it can be a good thing. We injected Zara into the game fairly early to try and add a bit of energy to it, but everyone just looked like out of sorts tonight. And I'd rather it happen now than later in the season. But it's sad that it's got to happen at all.
Unlucky tonight. Well played in the previous 7. You know you can do it, can't you?
Yeah, thanks for nothing, Gail.
She said thanks. She said, why did we turn up this evening and ruin it all for her?
Go home now, go home, all of you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Sarah, we're here to support you. We are. She looked very flat in comparison to previous interviews when they've been on that fantastic winning spree. Positives, what can they take from tonight? Because there are a few, including Vicky Oyasola, who was fantastic on court, Dan.
Oh, she was sensational and probably the spark for the team to get them back into the contest. I think in hindsight, they'll probably reflect on this perhaps as, although we are saying it could damage their season potentially, it might also be just the catalyst they need to go to the next level to ensure they don't slip up like this again. They've had 7 on the trot. The risk you take when you win and you win comfortably again and again, you can get complacent. Although you don't want to admit it, it does happen to the very, very best of them. So perhaps tonight was one that they maybe just didn't expect Storm to come out as hard, but they'll learn from it, and I expect a response, because when they got absolutely hammered by Bath, they come and knocked off Manchester Thunder. So they're capable of beating those top teams once they've had a poor performance, so it won't last.
Yeah, you did. You thrashed them 75-50, didn't you? And you played them again on Friday.
I know, hopefully they don't come back too hard.
I was going to say, they may be sure. I don't know, is this a good time or a bad time to play them?
To be fair, I think Bath obviously are coming off a loss on Saturday against Wasps. Loughborough obviously will be hurting tonight against this loss against Surrey Storm. So I think that sets up Friday's match really well, and it'll be about who can go back to the drawing board, sort out the little
niggles, yes.
And yeah, Friday's match is going to be a battle.
It certainly will be. Well, we've got a lot of netball coming up on Sky Sports for you. Easter weekend is a cracker. 2 games on the Saturday. It is Sirens Lightning and Pulse Thunder, and then on the Sunday, slightly later times, Storm Stars and Bath Mavericks. Can't wait for that. Ebony and Dan, thanks so much for your company. There was a storm here in Loughborough this evening. They go home with the spoils. We'll see you Easter weekend. Good evening.
I ain't scared to let go. I ain't scared to say no. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. I can't stop, so let's go. I like it when you do it like that. You like it when I do it like that. And I love when we move it like that. Ain't nobody else do it like that. I like it when you do it like that. You like it when I bring it right back. And I love when we do it like that. Ain't nobody else do it like that. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Watch me now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Don't stop me now. I'm gonna do it how we do it. Like I do it. I'm gonna do it like a star, like the sun.
Sky Sports. Feel it all. This programme is brought to you by Vitality Health and Life Insurance.
Oh, that's a big collar. Must have lost a Great Dane.
Getting active brings its own rewards.